Hey, welcome back. I know it's been quite a few weeks since I posted the last video. I've got quite a few things going on. The county's got me chasing my tail on getting permits for the property, and I'm working overtime to pay for the permits on the property. So I'm trying to do other things in the meantime, and so that's why I haven't been posting anything. But anyway, I wanted to update you on the truck. I've got some interesting developments on that. And I had the truck at the Freightliner dealership trying to figure out the cruise control, and they've got 4 hours into diagnosing the cruise control. They're having a they're getting a code that says brake pedals depressed, so they had to chase all the wiring on it, and they have come up with nothing other than they think it's the computer that I just had put in there a couple months ago. So after the holidays, I'm going to take the truck back into Cummins, and I've talked to them already. They're thinking it might be something in the computer itself, so I'll let them deal with that. But a couple other videos, it was either the last video or the video before, I mentioned something about getting the scale weight on it. I found the original paperwork from the truck itself showing the weights. I don't know if you can see that on there, but I wrote them down on the other side here. The front was 5860, the rear was 4440, so the total weight is 10300. So I took the truck to the scale house, and you can see there the front was 6640, the rear was 5780, and then a total of 12,420. So it actually did go up 780 pounds on the front, 1,340 pounds on the rear, and then a combined total of 2,120 pounds. So it is more heavier now, and I know if I was to redo the bed, or if I was to make the bed again, I could make it a little bit lighter, but for the most part the weight is spread evenly 50-50, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a little more front, or a little more heavier in the front, which is fine. So the ride quality with the leaf springs, oh, somebody asked about the ride quality with the new leaf springs. It actually rides pretty better. I had a friend over the weekend, and he mentioned it rides as well as his second generation Dodge pickup. So for being a short wheelbase, airbags in the rear and then the softer leaf springs in the front, it rides pretty good. So what else did I want to show you? As you've seen from the teaser picture, I did it again. I found another truck. There was a guy advertising that he was parting out a Freightliner. So I called him up and asked if he had the passenger side inner splash sealed. He said he had one, so I said come out and take a look at it. So when I got out there, he actually had a couple trucks, and long story short, I ended up buying one of the trucks. And I've got, well, as I've mentioned before, Betty is the truck, was supposed to be a parts truck for the sleeper cab that I have, and I ended up putting it together for a variety of reasons. So the sleeper cab, in order to build that one, I would have to take Betty apart or find another parts truck. And the truck that I found, that I didn't know I was looking for, it's the same year, it was built in the same month. And then I'll show you something else here in a second. I'll walk around with it. Anyway, I'll show you a picture of the sleeper cab that I have, and then also I have a crew cab that I don't remember if I've mentioned or not, but I have a parts truck for that one already. That one has the 8.3 Cummins engine in it with the 6-speed, and it was a rollover. The cab is crushed, and assuming, I haven't done any measurements yet, but assuming the frame is straight, then I will drop the crew cab onto that frame and shorten the wheelbase. It's 250, I think, and that's way too long, so I'll cut it down to, again, probably 200 something. I have a RV toter bed for it already, and so it's a runner and a driver. I've driven it around in the yard here. It's probably been a couple years ago, but it does, or at least it did at the time. So anyway, I'll show you a picture of the sleeper cab and then the crew cab. And those will be future projects when I get to the new house. And I'll just make this video short, but let me walk you around on the parts truck just to kind of show you what Betty looked like originally, and then you'll see how far it's come. And then I'll go into the next things. Hold on. So here's the parts truck. It's identical to what Betty is. Same engine, same transmission. It's got a rack on the front, and so I can't open the hood. Forklift's in the way with the dead battery. So anyway, somebody rattle canned it gray. It was just a driver training company, and I've guessed they've changed the laws to where the people learning how to drive trucks, they have to do 10-speed or better to get the compound transmissions. Anyway, you can see it's also air ride, and that was one of the things that I was curious about it. So this will be the parts truck for the sleeper cab. I won't use the gears in it. They're 456 gears, so I'll figure out what I need when I get the other one put together, and then I'll change the ring and pinion in it. But it's also air ride cab. The exhaust come out in the same place. So this is what my truck originally started out with. I'll give you a shot on the inside. Somebody put aftermarket seats in it, or automotive seats in it, but you can see I haven't cleaned it up. So the dash is in the same condition. The paint peels off of them for whatever reason, and just it's beat up like a normal work truck. So trailer brake on the steering column. This one's not tilt. I put tilt into mine. Just a basic work truck. It's got the vinyl headliner versus mine had the cloth. Let me see what else. Pintle hook. Just identical. Oh, this one has twin 75-gallon tanks. Mine originally had twin 75 too, but they were rusted on the inside, so I pulled them off, put twin 45s on it, and hopefully these tanks are good, because the back of the sleeper cab comes to right this area somewhere. So it'd be nice to have larger tanks on it. I gotta check the condition on them, but it's the same dash, electronic, and it's just amazing. I drove this thing home, but it's just amazing how rough it rides compared to what mine does now. I mean, you can definitely tell the difference. I'm glad I put all the work into trying to make it ride smoother. But all these brackets, I took off all mine. Let's see, just rattle can everywhere. So it'll be a good parts truck. And then I can't open the hood, but it's the same thing. But anyway, I wanted to show you one of the things that I found really interesting, and we were standing on the passenger side when I noticed this, but I looked down here and I'm hoping you can see that number. Got a light now, but you can see the number there. It's K as in Kelly 80246. Now I was standing here and talking to the guy, and that kind of reminded me of something. So knowing the VIN number or the chassis number on my truck, I thought it was kind of interesting. So if you look at the chassis number on my truck, it's K as in Kelly 80250. So there's 4 digits difference between this truck and the other truck. So these trucks went down the assembly line really close to each other. So I thought that was pretty cool. If you look at the production date, I don't know if you can see it. So it's July 2002. I don't know if you can see it. But anyway, it's 4 digits away from my original truck, which I thought was kind of cool. So anyway, this will make a good parts truck for the club cab, or the sleeper cab. Club cab, same thing. And anyway, I wanted to show you that. And then originally what my thinking was on getting this truck is using the back half to resell. I've made contact with a guy here that lives locally. Actually, he's closer to my property, and he has a crew cab FL70, and it's got leaf spring rear suspension, so we've talked about putting an air ride on it. Anyway, I was going to cut it off here and sell him this back half, and then I realized, well, when it comes time to move into the other house, that I won't be able to move this one around very easily without having a wrecker come in or pulling the cab off or pulling the engine and transmission out. So I'm going to leave this one together as a whole, and it runs and drives, so I will drive it out to the new house, and then I'll resell this one. I have the frame section still, but everything's still together. I just cut the huck bolts off of it, but everything's still together, and this one has a locker in it, so I'm going to pull the third member out and swap gears with this one or the other one. I'm not sure how it's going to happen yet. These are 373s, and the other ones are 456, so those are going to be too high for me. So I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. I'll just resell this clip and to get some of my money back out of it, and then drive this one out to the new house. So for now it'll stay together, and I don't want to start this big project. I'll continue going on this gap that I mentioned in the last video. And that will lead me into the last teaser. So this is tomorrow's job. Originally I was going to wait till my Christmas break, but I had 4 days off this weekend for the Thanksgiving holiday, so I thought, why not? So this is a modified HE351. This is a kit from one of the turbo, or one of the diesel outlets. So it's a 60, 67.9, and then the other one is the BorgWarner SXE 362. It's supposed to be a really great towing compound kit, and we're gonna find out what it does. I've got all the other pieces in the shop I'm not gonna bring out, but anyway, that's I'm gonna start doing this tomorrow. It's not gonna be a direct bolt-in on this. It's designed for even though my truck would be considered, well, the engine's considered second generation, this is actually a third generation turbo kit, and I'll explain the reasons why tomorrow. But it's not going to be a direct bolt-in because the intake pipe and the charge air cooler pipe is a little bit different. So I'll go as far as I can on the kit, and then I'll have to fabricate some tubing, aluminum tubing for the charge air cooler and the intake. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I'm going to start this kit tomorrow, so I probably won't video pulling it apart, but when I get started on assembling stuff, it should go pretty quick, and then I'll start taping that one. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys a update on what's going on. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll get the next video posted as quick as I can. Thanks a lot.